Welcome back to the Last Mag podcast. I am your host Primal, and in today's episode, guys, we are going to be going through a more update preseason tier list ranking of the Call of Duty League teams of how I feel they are now, and um, I'm going to give some thoughts on the two tournaments that just went down this past weekend. So, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button. I greatly appreciate it. And let's crack on into it. So, starting off, we had two tournaments this weekend. We had the Optic 25K tournament in which Dashi, Mercury, Simp, and 04, yeah, it was 04 that won the tournament, and it was a really well done tournament. I enjoyed it, and there were moments where it had me thinking, "Oh my gosh!" Um, I won't be doing highlight clips for this podcast, but in the next podcast episode, I will have a segment for the top 10 moments. So, guys, make sure to stick around for that episode when it comes out next Tuesday. So let's crack on into it. So, um, the other tournament was the Kaysan 50K Invitational, and Gentlem8 versus Optic were the grand final. So I was honestly surprised a bit by Gentlem8 making it because the four teams at the Invitational were Optic, Gentlem8, Thieves, and FaZe. Now, I was curious to see where this was going to go, and I will say I do have some concerns about FaZe, and there's a reason why I bumped them down to contender now instead of Sunday regulars. Um, so Gelmates, they brutally slam Thieves 3-1 fashion to start off to get to winners finals, and then they fall down to Optic in winners finals, and in the back run we do see Gelmates beat the absolute snot out of Thieves again and get back into grand finals, and Gelmates ends up taking it. Now I will say, and I do agree with um, Jake, and I do agree with Rab on this, that FaZe I feel like did struggle, well, not struggle, but I feel like the roster is shakier than what it should be. Like, on paper, when you see these four, you think, okay, these guys are going to look really solid. Like, they are going to have great search and destroy composite and stuff. But I do have some major concerns. So starting off, Optic, they're your back-to-back reigning world champions, top Sunday regulars. The reason why I have them on top is because I do not consider preseason tournaments officially to impact the season, but I did move Gelmates up based on their preseason performance because I wasn't sure how this team chemistry is going to perform. But based off what I'm seeing, I could definitely see them in Sunday regulars if their chemistry sticks strong. But we just gotta wait and see. Thieves. Kenny. What can I say about Kenny? He had a massive stinker in the Kaysan tournament. I didn't really. It's like the Optic 25K I was popping in and out of stream for because I was working on other content, but I was able to catch the major, more important matches. But Kenny against Gelmates, I remember, was it on, I want to say it was on the, let me pull up my spreadsheet quickly. Uh, No. Okay. Yeah, it had to be Colossus Hardpoint where Kenny was 9-25, and I'm just sitting there slack jawed thinking, what is going on? We're seeing Black Ops 6 Kenny again, and I was concerned. So, yeah. Thieves, I could see them fighting for championships, but we need to see how they are going to play. Now, contenders, I've got Toronto and FaZe Vegas. So FaZe, I know Simp said on Twitter that these were a real eye opener, but my question to him is, if it's a real eye opener, how are you going to make sure that these mistakes and what you guys are doing on the maps are fixable, and how do they convert into wins? Like, that's my real serious question for this. Now, Toronto wasn't at the Kaysan tournament. I wish they were, because that would have been interesting to see how they played. Um, but based off of the Monster Invitational, I've got Toronto in contender just because they did get Sunday compared to FaZe. I should put them above FaZe, but something, being a FaZe supporter for so long, something in my heart says don't knock them below Toronto. But getting into Boston Breach, you know what? We will put Boston at the bottom of the dark horse. Um, so the two teams that I feel are top of dark horse is G2 Minnesota and Cloud9 New York, based off of the um Monster 75K Invitational. Like, those guys, I did not expect to see making a run at all in tournament. Like, I was curious to see how they would play, but oh my gosh, definitely insane. Heretics, they did get bopped pretty hard in tournament, and I wasn't seeing their BO6 form, so I did have them down below, like middle of the dark horse pack. In Breach, they get bopped out so easily. I was concerned about that too. So, moving down to Confused. So, Carolina, uh, the, this team, I need to see the official matches and how they play, and watch their movement on maps and listen to their comms and see how they play, because this team I'm concerned about is, like, yes, I feel like they could potentially upset, but I don't want to move them up to dark horse. I don't want to move them down to blow it up. I'm just confused about. Now, Vancouver Surge. Now, this org could have done a whole lot of different things in the offseason, but they pick up legends from the professional Halo scene, and this team just, my gosh, it looked like a challengers team, not a professionals team. It's like they go up against Omit in the 75K tournament, and they go two down to Omit, bring it back to game 5, only for Omit to run away with it. And I'm just watching disbelief, thinking, what the heck is going on? And Riyadh Falcons, I'm not sure what to do with this team. Like, part of me just wants to say blow it up because of how that team's looking right now, especially with Xnid's comms and gameplay. Like, you have a Saudi Arabia professional player on team with mostly North America professional players. Like, there's going to be a, like, I will say Xnid does speak English, but it's going. I feel like this is a Paco, like, Cold War slash Vanguard wise, when Paco was having trouble trying to communicate in English. Um, I just feel like they should blow it up now and potentially try and get like maybe keep Exnid on team as a substitute, but bring in someone else who's already proven themselves. So like Felony should come back to the team or something. Like get another SMG player into that role. Like I need to see how that team's going to play. But right now I have them Bamu confused, close to blow it up. Now let's crack on into the pick'ems. So starting off with the opening match, we have Optic Texas versus Riyadh Falcons. I'm going to call this Optic. I'm going to say 3-0. I could see this being a 3-1 if Riyadh decides to try and fight, but we shall see what happens. Let's see here for pick'ems. What do they got? Oh yeah, absolute murder. You know what? I'm going to boost this match since it's an easy point wise. Next, we have Boston Breach versus Carolina. I'm going to say Boston 3-2. Like, I could see this being a bit of a grindy series, but I need to see how this is going to turn out. Alright. I've got to go against my heart on this one. We have FaZe Vegas versus Los Angeles Thieves. I'm going to go Thieves 3-1. Let's see what shows. Yep. And the reason why I'm saying this is because of how Thieves performed at the Kaysan 50K and just smacked them around. So I'm going to go with Thieves. And I know that my predictions last year compared to this year are a whole lot different. So, yeah. Next, for Saturday, we have Heretics versus Koi. This is grudge match. Real left his old org for Koi, and Heretics picked up I forget the challenger's player's name, in spot of Real. So I'm going to go Koi 3-1. And I could see maybe an upset or maybe a game 5, but I've got to wait and see how this turns out. Now, Gentlem8 versus okay, they're not the Los Angeles Gorilla Mates anymore. They're the Paris Gentlem8. My goodness. Okay, Paris Gentlem8 versus Vancouver Surge. I'm going to go Gorilla. I'm going to go. Oh my gosh. Gentlemates, not Gorilla Mates. I'm going to say Gentlemates 3-1, give Surge one map just in case. Now, Cloud9 versus G2. I am going to go with my stronger bet and go with G2 over Cloud9. Now, I could see either one upsetting each other, like Cloud9 upsetting G2 if you guys go that way, or G2 upsetting Cloud9 if you go that way. Let's see what the fans say. G2 with a higher percentage. 73-26 Surge. I don't know what the Surge fans are drinking, but okay. All right, and next up we have Thieves versus Falcons. I'm going to go with Thieves 3-0. Easy slammage. Next, FaZe Vegas versus Gentlem8. I am going to go Gentlem8 3. I want to say 3-0 to Gentlem8, but 3-1 to FaZe. Putting FaZe in a nasty deficit hole. Starting off the season in an 0-2 spot, but I don't know how to really. It's like my heart wants to go to FaZe on this, but based off they played, I can't in good conscience unless I see them improve and get an upset win over Thieves. Like if that were to happen, I would go phase 3-2-3, but still pick Gelmates. But I've got to wait and see on this. Next, I have G2 Minnesota versus Optic Texas. I'm going to go Optic 3-1, and I will save my double points for later. So save. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.